Good morning, everyone. Greg here from Master Trader, recording this from a location in Central Florida. We had to hightail it out of South Florida with the hurricane, and winds up, well, there was pretty significant damage there too, down in the Miami area. I live relatively close to there. But up here, things hit here pretty hard too, and making the best of it. A lot of power outages and a lot of damage done, but everybody's safe, which is the most important thing. And so the markets are up today, based on the damage not being as bad as had been anticipated. Looking around and looking at the damage that is there, it just makes you think, my goodness, how bad could it have gotten? And obviously could have gotten real bad looking at what's happened in the Caribbean and such. But so we feel kind of lucky, even though dealing with a lack of power and damages and some flooding and such. But anyway, so markets are up here. They've been in this trading range now for over a month and a half. You see the S&Ps, while they're up here, almost 13 points. They got this resistance area right over here to deal with, and then the next one. So what's going to move it out of this range? Well, I can't say. This could go on for a while, but what you see happening here is the swing lows. And let's just see if we can get a little drawing tool here. The swing lows, getting higher. And here was that high, the breakout failure, the shock, and got above that area here. So getting through what was a major resistance area, the high prior to the lower low, you look to buy the pullback to minor support. And obviously, buyers did step up in this consolidation that's going on right now. That's pretty bullish. Meaning you're getting only a little pullback. That 1 day pulled back to that minor support area, and now it's holding up. Now we'll see where today ends up. If it's a green day like this or it pushes higher, well, then we should anticipate higher prices from there. Let's take a look at the Qs, and this looks much better. Meaning you have this consolidation going on here. So here's the concept of a momentum move, right? This momentum move creating a void below. Yes, I recognize this stuff here, being minor support is going to be used as a reference point, but I've seen many times this just become a nothing reference point, meaning it's been used up. A lot of my self-education is recognizing or having recognized points on a chart that I thought was so significant in the past, and then seeing prices ignore them completely, and then trying to create and apply rules based on that to have consistency in the analysis and what we do. That's got to be one of your main goals, and that's what a trading plan is about. Putting together a set of rules to where you will do the analysis and act on a consistent basis. Of course, that doesn't guarantee being right every time, but if what you're doing works the majority of the time and you apply that with consistency, you'll do just fine. So here we have this move up. Prices moved lower. They pushed back up above here, and then my rule is that in essence this has just become nothing. The only thing you have to pay attention to is what's above these prices. What's above here? And as you know, there's nothing above here. And here's the monthly chart. Is it extended? Absolutely. But one of the the things that I've said many times when someone says to me, well, Greg, prices are extended, I say, well, they can become more extended. Not until they break down do you have a reason to doubt that the trend is over. And of course, we do look at multiple time frames where the daily can break down and break that trend, but then is the weekly still in an uptrend? So at that point, does the weekly violate its trend, or does it hold up its support, which is exactly what happened here. This pullback down here into the rising 20 MA and this little area of support here. You've got this little 3 tests over here. I mentioned that about a week ago about this 3 tests here actually on this day. So now this bullish consolidation and this red bar being ignored is bullish. Here's the monthly. We usually don't look at that, but here's the monthly. So there's clear air above, and here on the 60-minute is showing this area up above here. So if it can get through here, opens up the door to this next point up above. Oil, just chopping around here, maybe making a bottom. We'll see. Looking at the monthly chart, we go out to longer time frames to keep it in perspective. Gold, which moved up nicely. Let's go to the monthly here. It's up against this resistance here, so it's backing off here. And we'll see how much this pulls back, and whether we want to get a position in this or not. So intraday here, it looks like more weakness to come. Bonds, this has been putting some pressure on financials. So as bonds move higher, interest rates move lower. So you could look at TBT. That's the ETF for yields, and you can see how they're moving down. And with that happening, it's been putting some pressure on Citibank, which has been the stock with the relative strength and been leading, and that's just starting to roll over. So you can see it's kind of finding its legs here today with bonds pulling back. JPM, I got on a 24-hour chart, so that's what you got, these dashes and lines, but it's up here pre-market. Let's take a look at Goldman Sachs. That's also up here. So one of the things to keep an eye on from a intermarket analysis point of view is to keep an eye on bonds, and you can look at TBT to see if that starts to go up, like you can see here that it is here pre-market, but it's in a downtrend. TLT, if you don't have the futures, you can look at TLT, which is down here pre-market. That is bond prices. TBT is bond yields. And if TLT comes down, well then stocks like Citicorp, which is consolidating on the weekly, may resume its uptrend. So that will be a pretty sure way, I think, that intermarket analysis relationship, if it resyncs, be a pretty sure way of making money in financials, which you could also just buy the ETF, which has come down during that time while bonds were going up. And that may be able to resume its uptrend and move higher from there. So you can trade these individual stocks or the ETF itself. One thing I mentioned to our subscribers that I found interesting was the fact that, whatever strength there was last week, I thought that Facebook with this bottoming tail bar would actually push higher, and it didn't on Friday. It was actually weakness. It was being sold. Oh, it's gapping up here this morning. And one of the things we're going to be looking for is if this red bar is ignored and today ends up with a green bar, that's going to be a buy signal for us. That red bar being ignored in a stock that is in a bullish trend in all time frames. And, we see the markets end positively today. Green bars across the board, financials doing better. Well, Facebook should move higher. The other thing to keep an eye on, which did really well last week, just looking, not working off of my normal system here, is biotech. Just went sideways here. After that move, it's creating support. Look at the bottoming tail bars. Just looks great. It's got room to move up here, and of course you can trade IBB, either one, or you can also trade LABU. lower pricing. This is a leverage ETF. So there you have some options. So that's it for today, guys. And, hopefully any of you that down in Florida as well, you're all safe, and we will deal with the damages starting tomorrow. So, all right, guys, have a great trading day, and we'll talk soon.